You've got the holiday spirit and you're ready to felt something festive, but which green is perfect for your holiday scene? What is the perfect red for Santa's hat? And which white is going to give you killer snowmen? This is the exact place to be to answer these questions. Hey y'all, welcome to Woolly Wednesday. I'm Marie, and today we are going to share with you a mountain of greens, a plethora of reds, and a wonderful world of whites for felting up your holiday treasures. I'm excited to share this with you today. The fairies have been bustling around, super busy, gathering up fibers for today's show, and really we want to help you choose that best white for your snowman or snow scene, the best red for your poinsettias or poppies or Santa's clothes, and the best greens for your wreaths, elves, and Christmas trees, of course. So we're going to be sharing all of these shades with you. Now, listen, first of all, you don't have to take any notes or write anything down. We're going to go through all of these fibers and cover the colors for you so you can turn on closed captions and do screen grabs or come back. But the fairies have created a wonderful curated page that you can shop from and see all of these fibers. So thanks to all the fairies for all of their work. Fairy Kayla built this beautiful shopping page. Emily is here with me in the studio today.
Hello.
And thank you all for joining us. And Miss Fairy Julia helped me bring all this stuff together. And all the fairies are rustling around packing your orders. So we already know that you're gearing up for Christmas and the holidays. And we just want to help take out some of that guesswork in choosing your reds, whites, and greens. So participate over in the chat. If you're watching the replay, just comment down below and we'll do our very best to answer your questions. If we don't get to it in today's show, you can also reach out to us on the Contact Us page. But hey, that's not all. We're not just going to talk about wool and fiber. We're going to cover mostly wool in this first part of the show. You're going to want to stick around because I have a super special announcement for something many of you have been waiting for a long time, and me too, by the way. Very excited to share this with you. And also, besides just wool, we're going to look at some Decadence fibers, and we're going to show you some quick grab packs that'll just spice up your holiday felting. Now, over in the live chat, Fairy Kayla is going to be giving away some prizes from previous shows and from the live chat, so I hope it's a good time, and let us know, either in the comments below or in the chat, maybe some of your favorite colors from the color palettes that we're looking at. So are we ready to dive into the greens there, Miss Emily?
Yes, everybody's loving the colors.
All right, so let's do it. Let's take a look right here at our greens palette, and I have a bunch of fibers here for you. Now, a few weeks ago, we had a video where we talked about different types of fiber for felting. If y'all didn't catch that, we will post a link also down in the show notes. You can watch that. And so we're going to assume that you already have guidance on which types of fiber to use for your felting projects, but let me give you a quick highlight. If you're wet felting things, you might want to stick towards the finer fibers. So these are short fiber merino bats, merino tops, our Decadence blends, and our merino silk blends, just because they're a little bit easier to lay out. This is if you're wet felting things that are fine. If you're needle felting or you're going for stiffer wet felts, then you can use our Maori, our Berkshire, our MC1s, and our New Zealand Corriedales for all of those projects. So the breed and how it's processed is all covered in another video, and you can catch that somewhere else. So let's look at these green palettes. Sorry, I'm trying to turn my phone down. Let's look at these green colors together, and I'm really interested to see what resonates with you. The fairies helped pick these, and it's pretty common that we get a question, right, Emily, of what's a good Christmas green?
Yes.
And man, it really depends on what you're making. So check this out. This right here is mallard, and this is a merino short fiber bat, and this is mallard in Berkshire. Oh, is this evergreen?
Evergreen, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, evergreen. I want to say mallard. This is mallard. This is evergreen in short fiber bat. And this is evergreen right here in Berkshire. So you can see that these two colors are almost identical. And I did see that someone, I think Jan Scott, asked a question already in chat about the different appearance or effects of dyes based on different breeds. And what you're going to see is that fibers that are have a little bit of a finer structure might cast off a little more light than one that's a little more coarse. So the shades might look slightly different, but these are 3 evergreens, and you can see this is a merino top, a longer staple fiber, casting off a little more light than the short fiber bat, which is short. So that's an interesting thing, but they're also close together. So this is evergreen and a beautiful green for the holidays, really great for just wintry stuff. This right here is one of my little wet felted gnomes made from the short fiber bat, his body. And I have another one where his hat is this with embellishment colors in it. So really fun. Now this right here is the mallard right here. Is a very dark green, and I used a mallard merino for this little Christmas tree. If you've been around since we did these Christmas trees, y'all tell me in the chat. This was one of our early Woolly Wednesdays. We felted merino top and we felted pre-felts in little circles to make these Christmas trees in white and green, and added embellishment fibers on top. So this is a really great green, and we also used this would have been this color in this when we did the Zippy Christmas. So this is a great kit. Rhonda Berman, one of our customers, created this kit for us. Super fun, lots of little Christmas projects there. Now this is fir green, and fir is great for Christmas trees, don't you think, Emily? This is
I just love that fir color, always drawn to it.
Great if you're doing landscapes, or especially if you're pushing things back and you need it to be a little more muted. So like here's a quick example. If you're pushing things way back here in the back, go for these more muted greens so that they just are less defined and calling a little bit less attention way back there. So really fun. Now when people call and ask us for Christmas greens, I think I immediately go towards something like this. We think, what are you making? And grass is a great green color for Christmas, especially if you're thinking of elves or things that are really bright and cheery. And here's a great example. This is a kit by Fairy Kayla. She needle felted these darling cactuses, and this is in our holiday playlist. Also a kit. Almost everything I'm going to show you is a kit or a tutorial on our channel. But it depends on how you feel, because you can have a cactus that's a little bit different of a shade. And this shade right here is going to match this one right here. And this is sprout, right?
Yes.
This is sprout. And then we have fir.
Yes.
So you can see how darling these cacti, these cacti are, no matter what shade you make them in. But right here, that's the color that we include in the kit. So all of these are fantastic. So this is grass, this is sprout, and then this one, see, the girls have to catch me up. This is ivy, okay? And we think of these as really a great Christmas green, but if you're doing things that are natural, trees and landscapes and stuff, these earthy greens, you just can't go wrong. All right, now this right here, this little subset right here, this is New Zealand Corriedale. So it's a little bit different and dyed in a different mill. So colors may not match from mill to mill. They're not even dyed on the same continent. In New Zealand Corriedale, this is fir. And you can see how different it is from this other fir. It kind of sits in between these colors here, right? It sits in between this color and this color. It's a fantastic evergreen color, just beautiful. And then I love this one. So it's called moss. Nothing like our merino top moss. But if you wanted a more earthy Kelly green than grass, then I would point you towards moss, because it's just a perfect straight up green. And then the fairies, I love that they brought in some alternate greens. Mint in New Zealand Corriedale is lovely for a more muted Christmas palette, or maybe highlights on something, because it's a great like buttermint, so it's a very cool color for winter. And then this is a yellowy green. It's lima, one of my favorite colors on the planet. Very similar to some of these, but it has a great yellow cast and can just be good for your nice highlights. You might not think of it as a Christmas green, but it really depends on what your color palette is, and we wanted to include it. I'm going to jump over here to the merino tops really quickly, and the merino tops are going to match these color palettes up here. So again, right here, this is evergreen. This one is moss. This is prairie, and you might not think of prairie, you might think of it in this like, well, these are yellowy greens, they're landscapey greens, but it really depends on what you're making. It can be a great highlight color, prairie, in any of the fibers, great little highlights. You can also get that in the batting. And then we have, again, here's Sprout. So you can see how Sprout compares to this fiber. See how they're very close, but the merino top just tends to, this is merino top 19 micron, casts off a little more light. That's just because the scales of this fiber are a little more fine. And so it just bounces the light off a little bit more. And then lastly here in the merino top is Ivy again. So you can see how it compares to its little cousin over here. Wonderful colors for Christmas. And then we have some really fun add-ons, which is Fairy Grass. This is one of our Decadence blends. It's a mixture of like silky luster fibers with merino tops. And this is a favorite, honestly, all year long. And then Wintergreen, we dropped it into the greens instead of the whites, but Wintergreen has a lot of white, then with some of our really rich deep greens and white luster fibers in it. So this could be in the white or the green.
So beautiful.
palette.
I just love that wintergreen.
Yeah. So what do we think? What are people saying about the greens?
First of all, there's just lots of love for the variety of greens. And yeah, lots of people saying how important it is to get more than just one green for your landscape pieces. It really makes a difference.
That's a great point. And we do have some greens packs you can check out. So I don't think that the greens packs, they may not be on today's shopping page, but maybe we can add those. So like we have a great mixed pack of merino top called Living Green. So you can, boom, get 6 colors all at once. And what's it called? Field Day?
Field Day, yes.
Field Day is our mixed bag studio pack where we bring together the Maori and the Berkshire together because really they're very close cousins, especially when you're needle felting, but also when you're wet felting as well. So I think that these were great selections of greens, and you are going to find them on the shopping page for today. And I think you can't go wrong, like with any of these. It just depends on how you feel. Oh, and then I have this guy back here. So this is one of my doorstop shelf sitter gnomes, and we wet felted him eons ago. Like I can't tell you how long ago we did him. But I use merino short fiber bat, both for the body in white and for the hat. And you can make this yourself. It's like one template, 2 parts. So get ready. He's like got no. It's like one template, 2 parts. So easy if you want to wet felt. Super fun thing to do. And for this one, we used the, this is the mallard, right? This is the mallard.
Yes.
Green. We used the mallard green for his hat. Perfect for that. Cool. I thought there was something else back here. And this color, evergreen or mallard, is shipping in the Twiggy reindeer.
The evergreen.
The evergreen is shipping in the Twiggy reindeer. So this is also on our channel, and it's also a kit. Really fun to do, and you get to make these wild guys in any color you want, really. But this is one of the kit colors. Comes with green and red in the kit. Fun. Okay. So are we giving away a prize over there in the chat?
Yes.
So Kayla's going to be giving. Is it timing?
Yes.
Kayla's going to be giving away a prize. So I'm going to change out our color palette here. Do magic cooking show stuff happening.
Yes, we have one color that we don't have here, but I do think it's a great mention. Somebody mentioned Sherwood Forest.
Oh,
so
right.
that is a great green, honestly, that could be incorporated into some winter pieces.
That's a really great point, because so Sherwood Forest has not only greens, but some golds and a little bit of brown in there, and it's just one of my favorite all-around greens, period. Because it's a blend. It's in our Decadence blend line. So you can check that out, and maybe Kayla will add that to the page as well. So should we jump to our reds?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, red. We always think of red this time of year, and there's so many places to use red, actually, besides just Marie always putting it on a barn or a house. But like the poppy lariat that I'm wearing today. Thank you, Dawn Edwards. I'll have to show that off again. So lots of reds, and you can see we have lots of reds on the table. You know, when it comes to red, you're either like an orangey red person, you want a bright red, or you want what I call a blue red, or you want like a burgundy red, or you want to use them all together. So you could have like this vintage red, and I'll go through all these with you together. You can highlight that with the brighter red, and then you can deepen it with one of these more burgundy or brownish reds for adding detail. So we'll look at some samples along with those as well. And my table is covered with samples, not only that we've made in-house, but some of them have been made by a gift, or at least one of them was made by a customer. Okay, so again, over here with the fine fibers, these are the merino short fiber bats, and this right here is Bordeaux, a lovely, beautiful shade, very rich and dark, perfect for like a vintage Santa. I just love this color, actually. Just a great, beautiful color. And then this is just straight up red in the merino short fiber. So again, merino short fiber is going to be fantastic, especially for wet felting, or wet felting something where you want a quick layout, whether that's beads or I don't know. You could use it for a hat, and I'll show you a hat that I made. These are two MC1 colors. This is batting, and this is true red, which is our first original red. And then this right here is vintage red. These two go well together. We use a lot of these colors. This is an example of vintage red right here on this little star. I think I might have done that on a Woolly Wednesday. The sleeves of this sweater. This is Cozy Ornaments, which is a great kit done by Fairy Holly, where we show you how to make all of these really fun little designs. We use vintage red in there. And then this peppermint, which Fairy Jordan did. Well, we didn't bring in rose petal, but that's vintage red and rose petal, another kit. And I had something else to compare. Where's my chickadee? Oh, this chickadee, for example, and this little Nissa, it's like a Danish style gnome. These use true red. So see how bright these two reds are compared to something like this one, just a little bit darker. And this little gnome, her hat is vintage red. So it's just a little bit darker. And again, they can be used together. So one example, two examples are these little ornaments. So this is a little truck ornament I did a while ago. Vintage red. You can hit highlights with true red and darks with like mahogany or something a little bit deeper. And then this was made by Anne Lily Franklin. She's a customer, and you'll see her in our Facebook group. So this little cardinal, this is more like a true red, and you could use vintage or even mahogany for a little swirl like that. So great use of just different shades. You don't have to go black. You can just hit a darker color.
Vintage red is definitely a fan favorite.
Yeah,
sure.
we know. Okay, I'm going to jump over here to some pre-felts. And this right here, so this is red pre-felt and this is garnet, very close together, but again, this one is just a little bit brighter and this one is a little bit deeper. So just a pinch. It depends on what you're aiming towards. So if you had to classify them, you could say one's more of an orange red and one's more of a blue red. You know, in the matching the merino top, it would kind of, or the MC1, it would kind of go like this, but these right here are the same shade. So that is red in pre-felt. And then also in the pre-felt, this is the light pre-felt as well, we have the Bordeaux. So matching right here, beautiful base color, very rich. What a great like placemat or table runner base or stocking even base this would make. Just gorgeous. And if I jump to merino top, you could jump to Bordeaux again. So these guys are all together in the color range, and you can see the slight variation in tone depending on the fiber. And again, this is all wool at least, so it's going to be very close. And then more merino here. This right here, oh, I'm sorry, this is New Zealand. I'll stay with the fine fibers and then I'll jump over to New Zealand. So in merino top, this is just red. Right here, these guys are very close cousins. They'll be like pretty much an exact match. And then this guy right here is a merino silk blend that we call Dragon's Breath. So he includes, he or she, however you name your fibers, deep reds, bright reds, and just a pinch of white. It's very hot, very spicy, but also grounded. I mean, it's a beautiful red, but it's a very grounded color palette of red. Very rich. Okay, and then lastly, in our coarser fibers, again, is the New Zealand Corriedale. We have cherry red, which is a little bit deeper, and it's a different, you know, it sits in a different place than these others. It's a little more towards our vintage red, and then just red, which is like true red merino top, MC1 right there, true red. So all really great colors, really great reds for Christmas. So as an example, this little poinsettia is just made with merino red top, and this is a kit that we have available. What else do I have? I have this big gnome hat. It's kind of crunched. We put it on the top of our Christmas tree with a big nose some years, not every year. But I made this with the pre-felt. So a big pre-felt or short fiber. I probably made it with the short fiber actually, but they feel the same when they're felted. So short fiber is a great fast way, especially to lay out something big like this. And what else? What do we think about the reds?
Well, we've got some questions about the reds on your poppy.
Oh, okay.
And I've got those for you here.
Okay, so this poppy, let me tell you, so this poppy was made by my friend Dawn Edwards. This is available in our school, feltingtutorials.com. It is a class, and I believe all the classes are on sale right now, aren't they? Kayla's over there. A big sale on all the classes going on this month, so it's a great time to fill your basket or tell your friends and family that's what you want for Christmas, and they can buy it for you now. So this poppy lariat was made by Dawn, and you're going to tell us the fibers used.
Yes, so the red fibers she's using on this one are going to be short fiber red.
That's what I thought. Mm-hmm.
And then she uses some that aren't red, like zinnia and sunshine, to go in there. But she does include that dragon's breath that you've got there as well.
Fun. I didn't remember that. It's been a while since we filmed it, but this is such a great class to take. And I want to tell you that these flowers, I feel like they look really feminine and really pretty, but they're also very sturdy and durable. So this is really going to hold. They have a frilliness to them, but they're not thin. They have a great body, and it feels very just established wearing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel fluff. They have such a great body. So wonderful class by Dawn. And if you've never taken a class with Dawn Edwards, you just get prepared to fall in love, because she's just one of the nicest humans on the planet. And if you have, leave some love for Dawn over there in the chat and let somebody know what a great time it is taking a class with her, because it sure is. She treats every class like you're a brand new beginner, so you're always guaranteed to learn something from her. Yeah. So I bet the fairies are going to give away another prize.
Yes, Kayla just announced another prize right now as you speak.
Fun.
So congratulations to our winners. Stick around.
Yep, so we're going to tell you what you win at the end, and they're going to be giving away a few more prizes in the show. So stick around, and I'll show you what you can choose from at the end. So you'll get to pick a prize when you get to the end. Okay, now whites. This is going to be a little more of a challenge, and right after I do the whites, I'm going to share with you this is a reminder note to self, the announcement that I promised to share with you, or at least two announcements. Emily reminded me there's two announcements. Yes. So what are we doing next week, and also my big special announcement. So whites are a little more tricky, and I know it's going to be a little harder to show you on the camera, but just going to do our best. And if you feel like they all look alike, well then welcome to our world, because they get really close together. I'm super sorry I didn't bring any naked fleece, meaning just something completely undyed, because the color that you hear us refer to, what are you pointing at?
Some coral wool.
I do have coral wool, but I meant like uncarded, uncarded fleece. Fiber in its natural state is most often referred to as just ecru, and that if you see something called ecru, it means it's just undyed, it's washed, it's been scoured, it's clean, but no color has been added to it. Now sometimes you're going to look at a white and think no color's been added to it, but maybe just a pinch was. So let me try and show these to you and see if you can make sense of them. All right, so very close together here. This is our merino short fiber bat in white. This is a natural white. It's a beautiful clean fiber. You're going to see it's going to look very clean most of the time. It's very fine and beautiful, wonderful to play with. And actually when we did these boots, I think I used merino short fiber in the making of the boots. I think I did, not merino top, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's a great way to lay out wet felting. Now we have our Maori and our Bergschaffen white, and probably after a while we're only going to carry one, because truly they both seem so similar. But this white is just a little more yellow than the merino short fiber, and it does have a little bit more specks of vegetable matter in it. So we say sheepy, it's just sheepy stuff from sheep doing sheepy things. Whatever, you pick it out, it's no big deal, and you only have to pick out vegetable matter from the surface layers. It's a very natural part of fleece to have some vegetable matter in it. Then here I'm bringing you our MC1 cotton white, usually a little more cleaner than something like this. This is its natural color. The difference with the MC1, if you've never worked with it, it's a little bit finer of a fiber than the Bergschaft Maori. It's a little bit shorter. It's a little bit crimpier. Great for details. Wet felt with it, needle felt with it, and the bats are just a little more uniform. But that product is really fun in the colors that we have it and great to work with. So you can see these colors are all very similar. Now we jump to our CX2 white. This white is what, now I don't use it in all my snowmen, by the way, but if you want the brightest white in your snow scene or the brightest white on a snowman, this is the product right here that you want to get. This has been heavily treated. You're going to feel the difference. You know, it takes a lot of processing to get a fiber this white. It's not natural. And I do tell people that when you see white snowmen online, very often they look whiter than they probably do in person because the cameras cast off so much light. But CX2 white is the brightest white we sell, and the photo we have of it online has not been treated at all. It's absolutely this white, and it looks very white in person compared to other fibers. Okay, so that is a great white for snow scenes. And if I jump over here to our pre-felts, we have two pre-felts. Our pre-felt, we have our light pre-felt, which we call our PFL, and we have our PFM pre-felt. They're going to act very similarly, but they do have a slightly different thickness, therefore, and also slightly different size. But I would say these colors, you probably could hardly tell them apart in person. But the PFM pre-felt, the PFM is a little bit brighter right now than the PFL. The thing about natural whites is they change a little bit based on harvest. There's been times when people have said, and this won't be the case with this sample, but that our cotton white and our core white were very similar in color. Well, it's because our core wool, our CW1 core wool, sometimes can be a very bright harvest. So sometimes it gets brighter. Sometimes it's a little more yellow tinged like it is here, and it's meant to be on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. But if these seem close together, sometimes it's just because this is a brighter harvest, and you see that with as you harvest fleece, it's not the same every year. I'm going to jump this direction to our white whites. This is New Zealand Corriedale. This is another ecru, a very natural white. You can see how it compares to these others. It's casting off a little more light. It's a nice brightness. This right here is our French Vanilla merino top. This is the natural white. French Vanilla is the natural white in merino top, undyed. And next to that is white sand, slightly brighter, just a tinge brighter is white sand. And then we have, right here is lily white. This is the brightest white merino top we carry. In person, it may not seem all that different, but it's a slight difference brighter. It's a shade brighter. It's not always as stark as the CX2, but what you see is when you put them together, this one is going to suggest to be brighter because it's casting off more light, again, because of the scales. But for needle felting, this is the one most common, and if you're looking for a bright white snowman, you will not be disappointed with that white. I promise you won't. And then lastly here, we have our, we call it Snow Queen, so we use a variety of whites, and we also use white luster fibers in here. Really fun for wet felting, using as your embellishment, like your final design layer, or getting a bit of just white fun, great for a scarf or something like that. If you're wet felting a scarf, you could just lay out Snow Queen and it'd be a great white to use. Okay.
We do have a couple questions
Sure.
about the process of getting the wool so white.
Yeah.
Is it bleach?
No, they're not bleached, but they're white. I can't really tell you all about that, but takes some effort. It takes some effort, and it's kind of hard on the fiber, you know. You don't want to bleach your fibers, though, because you're going to break them down. If you bleach your fibers, they're going to become very, very brittle, and I don't suggest doing that. These are processed in a very large mill. They're all Okiotex certified, so they're processed at the level of a garment industry. Really wonderful. Nothing harmful in here or bad for you at all. Smells really clean. You can tell it doesn't smell like bleach, but yeah, a lot of processing to get it that white. Yeah. What else?
And then this is kind of an interesting question, but I think this is a great way to see it because you've got all of your colors organized by color. Do you do that when you're storing your fibers normally?
Oh, yeah.
Would you do it by color or by type of fiber?
I always store by color. Yeah, I'm kind of a nerd that way, so thanks for asking. I do store by color, but I don't mix breeds. So that creates a lot of bins in ye old studio. So like I'm going to have a bin of MC1 and I'll have a bin of the Maori Berkshire. I do put those together. And I'll have a bin of merino tops. And then all of my Decadence fibers are in bins in the packages. So all the reds are together, I tend to put like oranges and yellows together and all the greens are together. So I do sort by color. I do it with my yarn too. Yeah, I do. What else?
And then there was just lots of love for all of the CX2. Honestly, everybody loves CX2, as do I. I think it's the most perfect
CX2 is the color you want for your white. So let me show you this like winter scene. I want to just, while we're on whites for a second, and then I'm going to share with you this very special announcement. So let me show you this little winter scene. When you think of whites, you tend to just think of white. And I thought I had other winter scenes, but when you're planning a winter scene, and this is a video we have, it's called Cozy Neighbors. I think in one video we show you how to make the scarf, and the stocking. And in another video we show you how to needle felt the seam onto the stockings. It's not all the way through. It is hollow inside, albeit a rather narrow stocking. When you do whites, bring in some blues. Notice these little turquoisey blues, just a tiny turquoisey, or this like little glacier blues in here that cast a little difference. And then also the grays, mist gray, even medium grays. They're going to help give you some dimension in your snow if you don't make everything just bright white. So even if you're making a snow scene, you could save the CX2s for the very brightest areas, and that's going to bring everything to life because you have some whites that are a little more muted, you have some blues, and you have some grays in there. So just consider that if you're planning to do a winter scene, that you don't just try and make everything all bright white and then wonder why you don't have any dimension. You need some blues in there, you need some grays in there, and you need some little off whites, yellowy whites in there, really just to offset it a little bit, and that'll make the highest points, or where the sun is hitting, save those for your brightest whites. Yeah. Anything else on that?
Lots of love for the stocking, and I think some great tips on the snow that will help people get more dimension.
Yeah, and we have a couple. So we have red cabin in the snow, and then I think we redid that as a snow globe, and those are not only videos but a tutorial. Now, if you go to our holiday page, you can see all of these kits and almost everything that I have on the set and more as far as holiday projects. And most of our holiday projects, everything we've done in recent years has a video tutorial with it, albeit sometimes long. Sorry. But they do. Okay, so are y'all ready for the announcement? Because someone give us a drum roll over in the chat. So I'm going to share with you an upcoming class on feltytutorials.com. I think this is the perfect time to share it because we've just finished our whites. We are shooting to get this before the end of the month. We've really been working on it. There are a few things to do. If you're not in our school, get on over to feltingtutorials.com because we're coming out with Kimberly Czar's. We're calling it the Dreamkeeper Moon class. This needle felted moon is just dreamy, for sure. Dreamkeeper Moon is so dreamy. It is a wonderful project. She's going to give you templates so that you can make it this size or smaller and show you how to customize the size if you want. You're going to make this incredible face. She's going to give you all of the details on what is really an innovative armature that she has created to give you the perfect crescent and also the methods for creating a perfect crescent. She's going to show you how to plan the face, how to create these craters and get this magical shading. And oh look, she used some very lovely white on the surface, but not just white, also blue. And she'll even give you some other color palette suggestions that you can use if you don't want to have a blue moon. Maybe you want to have a yellow moon or a pink moon, and she has some great color suggestions. So what do we think over there, Emily? Are people excited?
Lots of love for this one. They can't wait. I think this is a perfect one too, because we just had daylight savings. We're spending so much time in the dark. A moon would be great.
Good. That's such a good point. Y'all, this is a wonderful, wonderful class. I was here while Kimberly was filming. Such a delight, such a treasure to watch it come to life. So if you've taken any of her other classes like Busy Elves or Extreme Faces over in the school, I think you're going to enjoy this one as well. And there's so much you can do with it, whether to hang it in your bedroom or make a baby mobile, or yeah, it's just fantastic. So she's going to show you how to set up this hanger and everything, and just how to get these awesome details. She's really turned it into a fantastic methodology. So make sure you set up your account in our school, feltingtutorials.com. You'll get our emails and know when the class is coming out, and you'll also get to take advantage of the launch special. There's always a launch special, and yes, there is going to be a kit for this as well. And just in case I don't get to tell you in person, I'll tell you that we're sending out one size kit in these colorways, and then you can make either one large moon this size or two smaller. So it's a fantastic process and just a beautiful result too. Don't you think?
I do. And Jan Scott says tonight is the full moon, so how fitting.
Oh, right. Yeah, notice it's been so bright at night right now. Okay, why don't we look at some Decadence fibers, luster fibers right now. And I'll cover these with you. And again, thanks to the fairies for all the work they do to help make this possible. I get to stand here and have magic cooking show because they scurry around. I told the girls this was going to be a chaos show, and that's where Marie makes a big mess and says, okay, time to put it all away. So I appreciate the fairies so much for going through this exercise with me, and that we get to share with you all these fibers, and hopefully the in-person comparison is helping you a little bit make some choices and make some decisions about what you might like. Okay, so here is a beautiful tray of luster fibers, again in the red, white, and green. And we don't always have all the same fibers in all the same products, and that's because things just change over time, you know, with the mills or the dye houses that we use. But this right here is red kimono and our sari silk waste, and sari silk waste is a great texture fiber, really great for wet felting and getting some sheen. You have to separate it and cut it up and get it on there. And I've needle felted some with sari silk fiber, but warning, silk like this pushes the needle back. It definitely pushes it back, so you have to maybe mix it with wool and be a little patient. This is our red Angelina, and Emily can help me on names of everything because I don't know the colors. This is not garnet. This is fire red. We do have garnet, but I didn't bring it because it's a little more of a purple red, and I didn't think it fit quite with all of these. And then this is going to be our viscose.
And just red.
Red. And then our red neps. So
they'll be called passion.
Oh, passion. Lovely. Okay, so just red neps. And if we jump over, red neps. If we jump over here to the whites, you can see how yellow these neps are. Not over processed. This is ecru. Very evident next to our viscose white. If you're looking for a top that is a luster fiber that's very shiny and the brightest whites, go with viscose and go with our bamboo. The tussa silk tends to be a little more yellow. Why? Because tussa silk worms are able to eat whatever in the wild, and bombic silk, which we don't really have in-house. I have some piece silk in-house, but bombic silk, they only eat a very controlled diet. So anyway, you want to stick with the viscose or the bamboo. And this right here is Blue Flash Angelina. So wow, what a stark difference. You can see that blue cast that it makes. Really fun for white. And we don't have the Aurora Crystallina right now, is that right?
Correct.
So this is the only white Angelina we have, and it casts off this wonderful blue sheen, which I think is perfect for a snow scene. And then white hankies, this is in the natural white. So you can again see the difference when something is just in its natural state, albeit very clean. Okay, and then we jump over here to the greens, and this is the viscose in evergreen. This is, what do we call this green?
Evergreen
as
well.
Evergreen. So this is our Angelina. Such a fun color. And quite a difference here, but I guess this is just what we have available. And this is a sprout in green. And then mallard in the neps. So it looks pretty dark maybe down there on the camera, but a wonderful, rich green. And any of these would add some really fun textures to your holiday projects. And again, I think all of these are going to be on the shopping page. Thanks to Fairy Kayla for setting that up for us today.
Lots of exciting, people are really excited about the viscose, some interest in how that works and creates some fun texture to pieces.
Right. And so again, this is either bamboo or viscose on this little guy. Let me see if I can kind of hold it up for you. If you can see the little bit of sheen in here, that's what it does when you kind of put the same color on the same color. You're going to get a great little pop of sheen when you felt those together. It's really a lovely thing to do, and it just catches the light a little bit differently. And actually, here's something a little bit different. This was in the same class, but we used the same green, and in this case, we just put a white hanky. So you might have thought a minute ago, well, that white hanky isn't white enough. It looks too yellow. But once you put it on something that isn't white, then it just makes it look like it's a little bit snow-capped. And these are kind of flat because they've been in a box for a year and we didn't fluff them. But you get the idea. So this is a great, even though white hankies on a different color are going to give you that little snowy effect. Okay. Here we go. So have we given away another prize?
Yes, number 3 went out.
Okay, fun.
Seems like maybe time for number 4.
Fun. Okay, so we're going to be giving away another prize, and prize people, you're going to get to pick your prize. I have one more thing. Oh, I have something else. Before I show you this, I have something more to tell you. Next week, we're going to do our first Christmas tutorial. So we're going to be making an ornament, and what I wanted was a project that I felt like, I wanted projects that kind of feel like they take the pressure off. I feel like this can be such a pressure cooker season, and for me, felting is therapeutic. So I wanted something that was easy to make, maybe something you could just kind of chill out while you make it, but makes a great gift and a great maybe gift topper. I love getting handmade ornaments myself because I don't need a lot of things in my life, and ornaments, like, you know, you have memories every time you open them up. So next week on Woolly Wednesday, we are going to do a tutorial, and it may be live or hybrid live. Like, we'll be live, but the video part is either going to be live or hybrid live, and we're just going to make it together, and there'll be a kit for it too. So hopefully you'll join us for that. Okay, so let's look at some. I wanted to share with you just some like quick holiday grabs that we have, and then we'll tell you, prize people, what you get to pick. And just thanks everyone for being here so far. I look forward to reading all your comments back in the chat. Okay, so here's some fun little grabs we have. Now, we hadn't covered felt sheets. We've only been looking at the wool and then up till now the Decadence fibers. But the fairies, you know, and we all have fun putting together these little packs. And this is our 100% wool felt sheets, and they make these fun little collections. This one's called Holly Jolly. I love it because it's like an alternate color palette instead of just a traditional red, green, and white and gold. This is called Winter Wonderland, which is just a great collection of blues. You could use these in your ornament making or in your picture making, of course. This one is called Winter Forest, so we go from the dark green to the brown, the gray, and the white. And this one is called Santa's Workshop, which is a very traditional gold, burgundy, true blue, white, dark green, and dark red. So these are some quick grabs if you need a quick collection of felt for the holidays. Any of these are fantastic. This right here is our little Neps grab bag, and they just call it a holiday goodie bag. We love goodie bags around here, and this is a great collection. I thought it was fun that moss is dropped in there as an alternate green, so very fun and festive. And this is a little Angelina holiday pack. What do we call it, Emily?
It's just the Angelina holiday goodie.
See, goodie. It's a goodie, we get excited. So instead of getting a whole big thing of each color of Angelina, you can do a quick grab and get the white, red, green, silver, and gold, which is just a blast and a great way to spruce up your little projects. And then lastly, we have this little fun back here, which is one of our mixed bag studio packs. Again, that brings together the Maori and the Berkshire, and this one is called Holiday Spirit. So great fun colors here, especially if you're doing like an ornament party and you need, or just yourself and you need a quick grab. This is a great thing to pull. And if you're one of our winners from today's show, you can pick either the Neps goodie, the Angelina goodie, or Holiday Spirit as your prize. And we will be so happy to send it to you if you're here in the US. And if you're not, and that's too much trouble, well, then we can swap it out for something else in the school or a pass. Yeah, cool. Okay, what else? Am I forgetting anything else?
I think you just about covered all our main points.
So fun, y'all. I hope this. Well, then, just take good care of yourself. Be well. Well, then, just take good care of yourself. Be well, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, y'all.